How many people know Guns and Gadgets? Jared Yanis. They need no other introduction. Jared, floor is yours.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm what's called the closer, the last guy, the one holding you from the after party and the alcohol, so I will be quick. But before I get going, let's get serious real quick. Today, this week here is the anniversary of Hurricane Helene, which parked over the Appalachian Mountains and destroyed my region of East Tennessee and Western North Carolina. So if you could today, in your time and whenever, please say a prayer. We still have folks living in tents there. And we need everybody's help, so don't forget us in Appalachia. Thank you to Second Amendment Foundation for having me and asking me back, which means I didn't do too bad last year, so we'll give it another shot. It's very humbling to speak before you all, and I really am grateful for your time. It's been a long day. And you've heard some phenomenal speakers today. But now let's talk about you. Let's talk about how important you all are in this movement. As you all know, my name is Jared Yanis. I run Guns and Gadgets Second Amendment News. I am a freedom-loving constitutionalist who cherishes this country and I don't want to lose it. But I need your help. SAF needs your help. This country, America, she needs your help. You often hear the word grassroots in this thing we call a Second Amendment community. But what is the grassroots? Well, grassroots defined, I'm going to read it because I want to get it right, is the common or ordinary people, especially as contrasted with the leadership or the elite of a political party, a social organization, etc., the rank and file. The grassroots movement is the backbone of the fight for the Second Amendment because it represents the collective voice of everyday Americans who refuse to let their constitutional rights be eroded by politicians, bureaucrats, or activist judges. Now, while large organizations play an important role in this, it's the local, state, and community level advocates, ordinary citizens who show up at hearings and write letters to their elected officials, organize rallies, and spread the truth. They're the ones that keep the Second Amendment alive and strong. These are the men and women who remind elected officials that the right to keep and bear arms is not a privilege handed down by them or government, but a God-given right protected by the United States Constitution, and that any attempt to chip away at it will not go unchallenged. Now, equally important here, the grassroots activists create a ripple effect of awareness and accountability. Lord knows that this country needs some accountability. Through social media or town halls, community networks, etc., we all expose anti-gun agendas and highlight stories that the mainstream outlets often ignore on purpose. The grassroots ensure that the fight is not confined to Washington, D.C., but is waged in every single state house, every city or town hall, and every neighborhood across this country. And that's big because the decentralized power, it keeps the movement resilient because it can't be silenced or bought out. At its core, the grassroots fight for the Second Amendment. We defend their freedoms and make sure that future generations inherit the same unshakable right to self-defense and liberty. I don't know about you, but the reason I do this is because I want my kids and my grandkids, Lord willing, if I ever get any, don't rush, please. But I want them to be as free or freer than I am. That's us, everybody in this room. We are the common, ordinary people that are members of pro-Constitution organizations like the Second Amendment Foundation. We are the rank and file, if you would. We are the simple, freedom-loving Americans who believe that the Constitution actually means exactly what it says. Novel idea, I know. We, the grassroots, are key to helping groups like SAF spread the word or educate our friends and family, or here's my favorite part, sue the government. Big hand for those who sue the government in this room. And for that, we're called radicals or fascists by those who want our liberty to die. You know who else was part of the grassroots? Got a couple names for you. You might have heard of these people. Thomas Paine, the author of Common Sense, which stirred ordinary colonists to embrace independence. John Jay, the co-author of the Federalist Papers, the first Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. Or Patrick Henry, say it with me. Give me liberty. Samuel Adams, key organizer of the resistance and the father of the revolution and the Sons of Liberty. James Madison, the father of the Constitution. Or Benjamin Franklin, who helped draft the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and for some reason flew kites with keys in lightning storms. John Adams, a huge advocate for independence in Congress and a strong defender of the rule of law when others thought he was nuts. Thomas Jefferson, the author of the Declaration of Independence. And finally, Papa George Washington, the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army during the Revolution, the reason we're here today, and the first president of the United States of America. And just like the actions of our founding fathers and how it played instrumental roles in securing independence for this country, our actions, everybody in this room, our actions are turning advocacy into victory as well. And we have some momentum, as you've heard, all day long in Washington, D.C., but we have to keep fighting. We can't get comfortable because there's an R after the name of the president or we have a majority in whatever house. Now is the time to press the accelerator. And just look what happened this past summer. As we entered the one big beautiful bill process, there was little to no appetite in Congress in the area of NFA reductions. Little to none. But groups started to pull together and join forces, and we started to ignite the fire in our fellow brothers and sisters throughout the country, and we put an immense amount of pressure on politicians. And before you knew it, the multifaceted full court press that we had ended up moving the once immovable object, the National Firearms Act. Yes, we were let down by a few rhinos. Yes, we did not get what we truly deserved, which is the complete, total destruction of the NFA. But the powers that be flinched. For the first time in 91 years, they flinched. Now, the rest of that goal should be reachable in the courts, and we shall see. But this was proof positive that action can turn advocacy into victory. In only a couple weeks' time, we went from basically zero congressional support in addressing the National Firearms Act to having the base of the entire unconstitutional scheme destroyed. We only had a handful of congressmen or senators that even wanted to talk to us about this thought. It wasn't popular, believe me. But how did we get to where we are today? Looking at the NFA tax being changed to $0. I cannot wait. I am spending so much money on January 2nd. Honey, I know you're watching. Sorry. But we're looking at some serious things here. And the grassroots effort did that, period. It wasn't a gift from some guy in Congress. It was the grassroots effort of everybody in this room and all the groups that worked for a common cause. Yeah. Well, you did it. You're the one who picked up the phone. Thank you. When we the people unite, guys and gals, we can move mountains. And we proved it in about five weeks in D.C. All of the big gun groups joined forces, which was huge and it was beautiful to watch. And we are all extremely grateful for that. However, it was the tens of thousands of phone calls a day that were generated to the legislators by you. It was we the people, the grassroots, that made tens of thousands of emails to these same people and thousands of in-person visits by the constituents that put immense pressure on legislators to get off their asses and to get in gear. And several members of Congress even turned their phones off numerous times because we were hammering them with telephone calls. I truly thank the hundreds of thousands of American citizens who joined forces with all of us in this effort. We couldn't have done it without you. We absolutely would not have made any of that progress if it wasn't for everybody in this room's efforts as well. But now we face a new final boss. A new grassroots effort is right before us right now. One that became brutally obvious and something that happened down the road here 2 weeks ago. The ideological war and spiritual war is upon us. There is pure evil in this world, and we all know that. The enemy's attempt at destroying the Second Amendment, in addition to silencing free speech, has ignited yet another movement to ban something that we never even thought we had to worry about before. But now, in addition to those evil ARs and those nasty AKs or those standard capacity magazines, well, now people on the Hill are talking about those hunting rifles that they said they were never going to come for. Friends, it's going to take every single one of us to defeat what is coming. And make no mistake, it's coming fast. Every person in this room plays an extreme vital role for fighting for and preserving the Second Amendment. We're facing something right now that is an emboldened enemy that wants to destroy our freedoms at all costs. Everybody here, and everybody watching at home, you need to refocus, we need to bear down, and we need to lock in. Just like the Founding Fathers had to pass liberty and freedom on to the next generation, it is now on us to do the same. Even though it seems like a large portion of this next generation doesn't even want it. And we need your help, and we can't do this without y'all. And I urge you to dig in with us. It's going to require every single person in here to dig in and dig deep, to fight harder than we ever have before. It's on us to ensure that freedom and liberty live on, to defend the greatest experiment that this world has ever seen. So join us in this grassroots movement that you are already a huge part of. And start spreading the word to those that you love, because we need them in this too. Join us in this fight for liberty. Let's keep this last bastion of freedom alive. The world depends on us. Let's keep this grassroots movement alive, and remember that we, the people, are in charge. We are the employer. It's not the other way around. Support Second Amendment Foundation. If they could, real quick, if you can, throw that QR code up there again. Because we always want groups to sue the government left and right, but they need our help to do it. They need our support. So support those that support you. I got you out of here 3.5 minutes early because I know everybody wants that after party. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America. Thank you for your time, and please pray for everybody in this country because we need it now more than ever. Take care.